Took two trades today. Both were on Micron. Stock I've really been loving recently. It's been super good for me. Um, so I'm just going to go a little recap on the two trades that I took and why I took them. So the first one, on the 5 minute, I've been using these EMAs or SMAs, whatever you want to call them. Been super good, especially for when you want to get in on like a pullback. It's sort of similar to like a Fibonacci tool. Not really, but like in terms of entering on a pullback. You want to get in at a certain level. So for example, price came down to the 200 SMA on the 5 minute. I entered off that. Okay. I obviously had to go to the gym, so price came down a little bit more. Obviously, maybe I should have waited 5 more minutes to get into a better entry, like at 9:11, but I was in at 9:21, so it's a 1% difference. I was down 1% on this trade. My stop loss was down here at 8.99. But anyways, which was also low of the day, by the way. Just right here at 8.9980. So anyways, price came down, fluctuated around these EMAs for a little bit, bouncing off. And then obviously we reclaimed it again at 10.05. And that's when I was back in profit. I had alerts, because I was at the gym. I couldn't really watch my phone. I was trying to work out. But basically what I was targeting was this wick right up here. No particular reason. It just looked good to me. And that's what comes with years of trading, You just have that feeling, man. Jeffrey Epstein said it. Obviously, not the best guy to quote, but Jeffrey Epstein said that as a trader, you just feel it inside of you. You know what I mean? Like, you just have that internal feeling that something's going to happen, right? And that's what happened to me. Obviously, I top ticked the move. I post all of my executions in my Discord. 387 for that trade. And then I'll show you that other trade after. But yeah, price basically bounced off this EMA level. I'm just going to delete this. Price bounced off the EMA level. The 200 one was my original entry, and then price slowly started to move up. And then one thing that I noticed is that when price becomes overextended from these SMAs, that's sort of when you should look to take profit or at least be expecting a pullback, which is obviously what we got. And then we actually broke down under the EMAs and could not break above it for like a bunch of hours, basically until 2 p.m. we could not break above it, and then even then we broke above it, under it again, and then that's sort of what I'll show you where I went into that trade. But yeah, when we come overextended, you really want to take into account, especially if you're in a short-term trade. Like for example, my trade was 40 minutes. I was in the trade for 40 minutes. You don't want to be staying in this trade if you want to get out soon when we are this much above our EMAs. Obviously, different time frame, different EMAs. The 15 minute, sure, we broke above this one, but we did not have enough strength to get up to 9. I guess it would be at 985, which in my opinion was maybe a little too high anyways. But anyways, yeah, so I took profit there right at 955, and that's where I have my alert set. Open my phone, sell, boom, we're done. I'm in a live account. It's not no prop firm where I have to win 5 days. It is a win. I get the $387, and I could put that in my bank account if I want. Anyways, second trade of the day. I'll show you my execution first. Boom. And boom. 215 in this trade. Obviously, volume's lower at the end of the day, so you're not going to make as much as when you're placing a trade at like 9:45, 10 o'clock. And a lot of you may say paper trade. This is just what I track my trades in, and even though I'm at a loss, that's just from me fucking around. Like for example, I don't even know how to extend this, but like I took a $22,000 loss on MNQ just because. I don't know. I just like to fuck around in paper trading. But anyways, second trade, I actually took this one on the 3 minute. I was on a lower time frame in this one, and this is where a different confluence comes in. I don't just trade off EMAs. I trade off fair value gaps. I trade off liquidity sweeps. I trade off, I don't know, breaker blocks. Sure. So anyways, price came down. And again, as I said before, we're extended away from the EMAs on the 3 minute. So price really started dumping here. Came down to 883. We left a 3 minute inverse here, or a 3 minute gap here. We inverse that on this candle, I got in a little late just because I don't think I was focused on my screen. But anyways, I got in a little late at 891. And that's when we started to push up into these EMAs that are, again, super tight on the day. They're all sort of bunched up here. And my whole target was actually on a different time frame. So I was trading on the 5-minute time frame. But my target was just this one here that lined up at 907. So, you know, I didn't think we had enough strength, especially at the end of the day, to come at 918. So I just said, you know what? It lines up with 907. Let's just go with that one. Call it a day. Market's also about to close. I closed my trade at, 1548, 1549, somewhere around there. And again, once we broke up, we came into, I'm just going to close that. We came up, we started coming into these EMAs. Again, here, we're not at my take profit just yet. We're at 905. We're still holding these EMAs. This candle here at 1545 gave me a lot of confidence because we sort of looked like I was going to get hit break even, but we held it with that close. We're holding this one at 897, and then boom, this candle just absolutely runs up for about a percentage point. And again, really quick trade. I was in and out in like 20 minutes, 20-minute trade. And again, one thing I like to do when I'm in a trade is I don't like to watch my screen that much. I like to set my alerts, place down my phone, go do whatever I gotta do. Because, sometimes when you're watching, you want to close when you're in a little bit of profit, or when you go down in profit, oh, let me add to my position so I can average down. No, that is the wrong thing to do. You're doing it the complete wrong way. You want to add to your winners and cut your losers. You don't want to add to your losers, because what happens if that keeps losing? You're going to be down money and you're going to be stuck in a trade, right? I've been stuck in trades before. I've been stuck in countless trades that I can call off the top of my head. And it's not fun. And for example, this is a live example. Let's say, all right, hold on. Let's say I get in this trade at 891, right? Let's say I was targeting 907, right? Let's say I targeted 918 because I'm overconfident. And now, as you can see, price completely rejected off 907. Came down all the way to my break-even point. And who knows, maybe I wouldn't have cut this at break-even. I would have been down, again in post-market, another... Where did price go? Oh, okay, it just hit 8 o'clock, so that's why. Post-market's gone. But that was basically down at... that's a bad moment for it to disappear, but that'd be another 1.65% down in post-market. So again, like, these sort of things, you really need to refine your edge in trading. Mistakes that you keep making, you need to find ways to improve on that sort of stuff. And again, in a live account, let's say you're trading a prop firm, you can trade stocks on a prop firm. It depends the prop firm, but you can trade stocks. You probably have a daily loss limit, or you probably have an account limit where, well, you 100% have an account limit where you can't lose a certain amount, and then you'll lose that. And you'll think, shit, why did I do that? Well, that's why I trade a live account with stocks or with crypto, because you know what? You can trade however way you want. You can take profit wherever you want. You don't have some minimum daily requirement for profit. You don't have some daily requirement for losses. You can trade however you want. A prop firm that's charging $300 to trade an account is probably not in your best interest to trade. You know what I mean? A prop firm should be like $50, $100. And even then, it's kind of pushing it. We need some discounts on these prop firms, because honestly, the more I trade them, the more I get pissed off with them. Because after trading with a live account of 5 figures, I don't think you should be trading if you don't have below 5 figures in a live account. But if you have a live account with 5 figures, you can make money so much easier. Like, it's crazy how much money you can make with these things. Compared to a prop firm where, yeah, you can make a lot of money, but it almost feels like you have a job because you're following all these rules. Most of the time, the people I see on, Reels or TikTok, they're just getting $150 a day and calling it a day. When that's not trading. That is not trading. You're getting a minimum win and closing your trade, and then doing that for 4 more days to get a payout, like that's not really trading. You're just playing a game at that point. You're playing a game, which honestly, a lot of people do say prop firms are kind of like a game. They're not organic trading, and they're nothing like this. They're nothing like this, because you know, 80 at 907 here, 907 the price. I close my trade, I get my money, I send it to my bank account, or I keep trading with that money. With a prop firm, you need to win 5 days to get that money. And they take a split on some of your money too, so you may not even get all that money, you know. For example, Top Step, you can only request 50% of the profits you made on the trade. So, again, it's not great, and there's a lot of people who aren't really doing this properly. This trading stuff, like they're making thousands and thousands from prop firms, but they're not even making a live account. So that's really all I gotta say.